Good evening, everyone. I suppose you've been wondering where I've been. Haven't made videos up over the last few weeks. I've been fairly busy, just with one thing and another. Well, as you know, we started our cattle shed, which has kind of just started to get moving now this week. Yeah, just been busy with general farm work and different jobs that we've been doing. I've also, as I may have mentioned before at some point, I've started to build my house as well. So we've got 2 construction jobs going on at the minute, and it's just kind of keeping us on our toes. We're quite busy, but I hope to get some videos up now this week. Going to try and get an update video on the shed. The steel work has started going in for tying of the steel for the concrete. That has all started to go in. Hopefully floors will go in this week as well. On top of that too, we've quite a few jobs going on this week because we're preparing for going away next week. Next Wednesday we are heading away for 8 days to the USA. Myself, my dad, and a friend of ours is going as well. So we're going on a kind of one of our farming trips to the US, where we go around visiting farms. So yeah, it's a lot of preparations going on for that and trying to get everything ready. Ben, my brother, is going to be looking after the livestock while I'm away and feeding any cattle we have inside. So we want to leave it as easy as we can for him while we're away. So you can appreciate that I have been quite busy. At the minute I'm mowing out some grass, as probably copped on. I've mowed out 12 acres in a field before this. It's the 12 acres that we reseeded back in April. I think it was April. It was April. Yeah, we mowed it out. It's for round baling, and we also are mowing this field out here as well. This field we usually put in the pit, but not this year. We have got enough ground for a second cut silage pit, and yeah, we've decided to cut the 3 acres here at the top of this field, and we'll put it in around bale acreage. So we have 15 acres altogether that we cut today, and that's all for round bales. We've got quite a bit more round bales to do later on. We've probably got about 40 acres more round bales to do later. We'll leave that until after we come back from the US though. We're going to let it bulk up a little bit. With all the slow growth earlier in the year, it'll not take any hurt. We can cut it, say, around maybe the middle to end of September, and we should get a fairly good crop of bales off all that. Some we will feed, but most we will be selling. So I'm just over now in the other field. You can actually see Mark just through the trees there. You can see the lights of the tractor. That's the 3 acre field that I was mowing in the early part of this video. But he was a little bit brighter. I could have flew the drone up and took a little bit of footage of this field here, and then flew it over there to where Mark's walking. But yeah, darkness is just starting to set in, and by the time I'd have it all set up, it would be almost dark. Yeah, so Mark should be finished now in the next, I'd say, half hour or 40 minutes. Very good crop of bales on this 12 acre field. Just over 140 bales. I think he could have said 141 bales. So very happy with that. This was sown in April, if you remember, and got no rain then for about close on 8 weeks, and it was very slow to come up the grass, obviously, without the moisture. And the bottom of it, one of the reasons that we wanted to reseed this was because it was very open in the bottom, and as you can see with our drought that we had after sowing it, it has left it open in the bottom. So some parts of it then isn't too bad, it's better than others, but there is patches of it that is fairly open. Now it will tiller out a little bit more than what it is at the minute, but I don't know, we might buy a few bags of grass seed maybe, and just get it stitched in before we slurry this. We might get our agricultural advisor just to have a wee look at it and see what he thinks, and if he thinks that it would be a good idea, we'll maybe do that, just to help it along. Because if it was stitched in now, we're not going to be taking any more cuts of bales or anything off this. We'll slurry it and we'll let it grow then, and over the winter then maybe we'll get somebody with, we have a guy who takes a little bit of grass off us in the winter time for sheep, so it would make a good job of it if that was to happen. The sheep tend to thicken it up. So yeah, we'll see over the coming days what we're going to do with it, and if it needs stitching or not. Rather unfortunate the way it worked out with the dry spell after this was sown, but that's the way it goes. There was, if you remember then, I think it was around the end of June, I topped it. The weeds kind of started to take over. We couldn't spray it because the grass was still at that stage, at a tender stage, because if we had to spray it, it may have killed off some of the grass. So I ended up topping it then at the end of June, and that kind of kept the weeds at bay for a little bit. Then when the rain come about 4 weeks ago, I put a very small amount of fertilizer on it. I put about 50 kilos per hectare on it, and just to give it a little push on, which absolutely made a fantastic difference to it. I then sprayed the weeds on it a week later, and all the weeds then had more or less died off. There was some still in the bottom, just a little bits of dead weeds and stuff, but it's not going to matter, it's mostly grass. We're going to be feeding this to our cows, so it's going to make no difference to them. Yeah, so that's it for tonight. Tomorrow we'll be loading up and drawing these bales to the yard and stacking them all up. And we'll also have to stack the bales then up in the 3 acre field as well. We may just stack those along the hedge, just near the gate, because there shouldn't be that many on it. I'd say maybe probably around 30 or just over 30. I'd be hoping in around that. And yeah, get a little bit of footage of that when we're doing that. So until tomorrow, I'll talk to you then.